Hello everybody! Welcome back to Nukeshot Media and round 5 of the Capital X NES IndyCar series here for the Tokyo Super Prix on the Tokyo Expressway South counterclockwise circuit. 150 miles, 37 laps. Going to be some evening to nighttime racing. Qualifying will be taking place in the afternoon. Hello to everyone watching. Should be some exciting action as per usual. I'm of course your commentator for today's Okyo, and looking forward to this one. It's the only street circuit of the season, and it's very high speed, so we're looking at some quite low downforce setups from some of these drivers. It's currently Taters that has the fastest time in practice. We got the stream off to a little bit of a later start than normal. Been having a couple issues with some things on Discord, so been sorting that out. Still somewhat in the process of that, to be honest, but we're here. Wind speed currently 2.8 meters a second going down the start finish straight. There's a tailwind, so that's about where you want the wind speed to be, really, or direction rather, because the long back straight's pretty much in a tunnel. So again, hello to everyone currently tuned in. Hello to Alex and Mateus. There is Mateus, that we're currently watching. And yeah, Taters with what seems to be a 4/10 gap over the rest of the field at this point. We're 5 minutes away from the start of qualifying. Gonna quickly check in on Volked, because they were the one that had a bit of an issue with a throttle. It wasn't going full throttle, and seemingly is that the case again? Yeah, bit. That's not going to be good, especially for such a high-speed circuit as this. Been trying to get this fixed. Apparently it was working yesterday just fine, but some issues today. Hoping that'll be resolved before the race. Going to be tricky for qualifying though. So who have we got here today? We've got Joe of the Fire, of course. Without even looking at the sheets, I'm going to assume he's championship leader, because he normally is. So good seeing him back again. Taters, as mentioned, currently fastest in the practice session. We've got Mateus here, once again should be going well. Costa making their return, driving the progressive liveried machine. We've got Sweet for MEM Skoda in the 7-up car, I believe that is. Checking in, yep, that is indeed. Oh wow, they changed that livery a little bit. That's quite detailed. Who else do we have? We have Poctavian, the other TSR car, Joe's main championship challenger. We've got Chica TC, of course, winner of the Blue Moon Bay 200. Should be going well again today on another high-speed circuit. Volked, as mentioned, currently in the pits, and Batman currently in the pits as well in a new livery there, the Smirnoff Chevrolet. Nice stuff. So 2 minutes away from the start of qualifying. As per usual, it will be a 10-minute session, and the fastest 6 go through to the Yokohama Fast 6. We'll have 5 minutes to set an extra couple of laps. And with only 10 cars today, it's a bit of a lower turnout than normal. We tend to have around the 12 mark. Might see a couple more joining later on, but we'll see. Apologies if I'm sounding a little bit off. I'm still recovering a bit from a cold or something, some kind of illness, so my throat's still a bit iffy. Sweet's just gone second with a very fast time. That's almost matching what Taylor's did. Should note that both the Motorsport Republic X Capital team and the MEM Skoda team are customers of Nukeshot R&D, so they are both using the same setup. So interesting to see that the drivers are also quite closely matched. Octavian rounding that corner, about to go into Sector 2. It's a very long Sector 1 here. Just gonna check in on Volkit's situation on Discord. Okay, qualifying's about to start. And hold on, it said 10. We're on circuit. Look, that's odd. When did that glitch happen? Is it because I set a time earlier? I'm gonna guess that's what it is. Oh, I've gone on circuit accidentally. Okay, 10 minutes it is. For first qualifying, here for the Tokyo Super Prix. Remember, it's the top 6 that go through, so 3 will be eliminated. Cars will eventually go out of the pits. I think it's Chica TC that's leading them off. And a benefit of this particular circuit, the pit lane, of course, isn't where the start-finish line is, so it's quite a short outlap to actually start the timed lap here. See, they're about to go on to time laps right now, so it is Chica TC leading them off. We're going to go on board, if we can. There we go. Into turn 1. Ooh, a little bit of a lift. I was wondering if that could have been flat out. The tailwind seemingly not helping that case. But nicely done. Into this dip, going underneath part of the later bit of the lap, and towards the dockyard section, this triple right-hander into a left flick. Got to pick up the throttle gradually and increase speed. And there's that left. Nicely done. And this upcoming right. It's a bit of a middle apex. A little bit of a lift again from Chica TC. And crossing the first sector marker. And this very long back straight curves quite a bit, so it's going to be difficult to make passes with the cars changing lines constantly. Then the heaviest braking zone perhaps of the season, as they get passed by Joe into this hairpin. There you see the pits on the left hand side, and the pit exit. That's going to be a bit of an awkward spot. Be suffering a bit with the dirty air going through these final S's. And a little bit of a banking encourages the car to turn in a bit more than normal. And yeah, that dirty air really allowing Joe to drive away. It is going to be Joe that sets the first lap. It's a 134.120 for Joe. And Taylor's goes to the top of the timesheet with a 134.054. Chica third after backing up a little bit on that lap, 135.866. Mateus fourth, and Sweet goes to the top with a 133.511. Octavian, fifth fastest, 35.844. And there is Mateus in the KFC Chevrolet for North Star Racing. Fourth as it stands. There's a big gap that Sweet has at the front of the field. over half a second. And they've got a little bit of slipstream here from Volkhead. So that could be playing a part. Of course, they've got overtake as well to use in this session, so that's why the lap times might be a bit faster than we were seeing in practice. Trying to make the pass. Nicely done. I think this could be another good one, as Batman goes third fastest. That's a 134.055. Only 1,000th slower than Taylor's. As Jerome has joined the lobby. So Jerome's missed out on qualifying, but will be able to start the race. As Mateus goes fastest to the top of the sheet and resets to the pits instantly. Joe goes second. And Costa third. Now the gaps are getting very close. The top four all within a tenth of a second. Sweet is gonna run out of overtake. We're not even halfway through the session yet. Only 4.5 minutes gone. Octavian's still saved quite a bit of overtake left. All day just clipped the wall slightly. Difficult to tell with the slight amount of lag, but they have gone purple through sector 1. Batman improves their time, but is only 6th fastest, although that is enough to get into the Yokohama Fast 6 as things stand. Tatus is going to need a good lap to get back in, currently 5/10 off of that 6th place. Joe improves 32.9. Very good stuff. Tatus does improve, but not quite enough. Chica jumps that position, but only 7th as things stand. As Costa goes to the top of the timesheets, 32.793 for car number 12. So we've got 2 cars into the 32s. Will there be many more joining them? Just checking the overtake status again. Both Joe and Costa around the same. Fantastic seeing the speeds that these cars are able to achieve when trimmed out. And through the S's as well. It's these sections that you need a little bit of downforce. It's an interesting compromise circuit, this one, at the Tokyo Expressway South counterclockwise layout. And given the length of the lap, it's a relatively short lap time with 132s. Able to get quite a few laps in. So currently into the Yokohama Fast 6 are Costa, Joe, Chica, and we just had a shuffle as Tatus goes to the top, 32.7. So it's now. See, it's far too early to properly call this, but at the moment, provisionally, it's Tatus, Costa, Joe, Chica, Mateus, and Sweet that are into the Yokohama Fast 6. Poctavian just missing out. Poctavian's on the bubble. Needs to find just over 1.5 tenths. Volkhead improves their time, but going by that, I think they're still suffering with throttle issues. Are they? It's going full throttle now. Lifting off there, though, in the middle of the dip. That's concerning. A little bit of slipstream action going on. Taylor's trying to find a way past Chica TC. A little bit of an early apex there from Chica. Also running low on the overtake. as Taters is completely out of overtake, so I don't think we're going to see Taters go any faster than he has done. Not in this session, at least. As there seems to have been an incident with Mateus, if he's saying I'm sorry. Not sure what's going on there, but Mateus currently in with 5th place. Oh, that's a clever strategy. I didn't think of that. Costa went back into the pits, not only to get a quicker tyre change, but also to reset the overtake. That is clever thinking. We'll have maybe one more run at it before the checkered flag. We should be safe. I think the big shock, if things continue as they are, is with Octavian here. Got a little bit of clear room. Mateus is up ahead. Maybe it was Octavian and Mateus that were having a little bit of an incident then. But Octavian is improving. On board through the tunnel and the underpass. Towards the hairpin. Look out for the speed here. 187 was that? Did I see? Or are my eyes deceiving me? But all that way down. The brakes on these cars, really impressive. And of course they don't have to stop too much weight either. Only around 670 kilograms are these cars. It chucks it into that final corner. Keeps it off the wall nicely. It is an improvement, but it's not quite enough. And that's the session done, so Octavian does miss out. Joe improves the time, but stays 3rd. Costa improves the time, stays 2nd. And I think, as he spins across the line, we do have a rule against that, but I think it only applies to the race. I think Taters has topped that session. There's still a couple more cars to go through. I think Mateus is on a lap, but is safely through to the next session. As Volked crosses the line, 5 seconds off. Yeah, really struggled with that throttle issue, and also the overtake not seemingly being used as much. Though they may have also gone back to the pits, I'm not sure. Well, probably not, given they're on lap 7 or 8. But still, 5 seconds, that isn't just the overtake. That's going to be tricky. Hopefully something can be done before the race itself. One car yet to cross the line. Does so now, and I think that is the end of the session. It is Taters that is top of the Q1 session, and it is Taters, Costa, Joe, Chica TC, Mateus, and Sweet all through to the Yokohama Fast 6. It is Octavian, Batman, and Volked all eliminated from this session, and of course Jerome, who was a little bit late, but we'll be able to start the race at the back of the grid. Okay then, so gonna change it to 5 minutes. And the Yokohama Fast 6 will commence shortly. If you're all enjoying the action so far, be sure to leave a like, consider subscribing for the rest of the season. Not too long to go actually, or for the rest of the season. Now, Taters did get the times, so... Well, Jerome wasn't in that session at all, so Jerome won't be taking part in the Fast 6. Haven't been able to look at the YouTube chat yet. So, Costa, yep, Taters, Joe, Chica, Mateus, and Zweet, yep, they're all there. So it's just Jerome that we need to get off the circuit. As oh, some donuts happening here. Is that Mateus? I'll use this opportunity to check the chat, actually. Oh wow, it's been over 20 minutes. Oh, and the audio check, there we go, that's working. Hold on, some comments seem to have disappeared since earlier. And also John Wandering's here saying, oh, that's nice, everyone cares. As opposed to no one cares. Yeah, all of Alex's comments seems to have disappeared from earlier. I don't know what's happened there. And yeah, 10 drivers today. Ah, okay. Here we go then. The Yokohama Fast 6, as mentioned, half the length of the last session, 5 minutes. That short outlap will be coming into effect. I don't know why the camera glitches like that when they leave the pits. Once again, it's going to be Chica TC leading them out. On the overtake button right away. I suppose with the short outlap it will take a bit of time to get the tyres up to temperature, so perhaps the second lap is more likely to be a bit faster because of that. Some sparks being kicked up by the cars, that's how low they're running. Sweet, really chucking it in through the dockyard section. Nicely done. Whoa! Massive sideways moment. I don't know what Octavian's doing. Maybe he got confused there, thinking that this is an outlap still. Okay, so Chica TC decides to drop back. So Sweet is going to be the first to cross the line. Alex, if you want to, the best thing you can do is contact Taylor's on Discord, like at him or something, or at the admins or moderators or whatever the role is on the Discord. A Discord which you can find in the description, by the way, any random viewers that happen to be watching. First lot of times coming in. Some of these not going to be representative, especially that 144 from Joe. It is currently Mateus at the top, 133.582. You did see some go a bit faster than that, I seem to recall. Was it 132s that we got into? Don't know if we'll quite see that pace. Don't think the fuel's got enough time to burn off to do that. Oh, Taylor's with a little bit of slipstream action again. Slipstream and the overtake button. This is the tricky thing though. With the straight that snakes from left to right on a pretty much constant basis, and both of these are on push laps, so it's really tricky. Little kick of oversteer gets it settled, and I think Chica TV is going to have to wait for another push lap here. Although, even though they've been passed by Taters, they've still managed to go purple through that sector. Impressive stuff. Coming up to the line, I suspect Taters is going to go to the top of the timesheet. If that's the case, yep. 32.410. That's extremely fast. As Mateus resets to the pits. Costa also to the pits. It's more for getting clear air, I think. Although the slipstream will be having a significant effect on Taylor's lap, with helping there, because he managed to get past. It's a tricky one, because you want the slipstream, but you also want to be able to pass the car that you're slipstreaming. And that's far from easy. Joe goes purple through sector 1, but with no slipstream partner. We're going to monitor to see where he is in relation to Taters by sector 2. This is where Taters was gaining a lot of slipstream from Chica TC, remember. We're about to come up to that sector 2 marker, as the checkered flag is officially out. 5 minutes has passed, and Joe 2/10 red on his own time, let alone the fastest. That shows you the kind of advantage the slipstream gives you. So I don't think it's going to be an improvement from Joe. In either case, Chica TC does set a lap, but it's still 6th fastest. Their session was really compromised by being used up there by Taters. I don't necessarily know if anything illegal happened there, but it was just unfortunate with the timing of that. Of course, they were both on push laps, and I think there's just one car left running. Is there? No, there's two. The arrows are so close together. So did Costa get a bit of slipstream from Sweet on that lap? They're currently ahead, using the overtake, going to the line. It's not going to be enough. It's an improvement for Sweet though, so Sweet goes 3rd. And there are your results from qualifying. It is Taters taking pole position from Costa, Sweet third, Joe fourth, Mateus fifth, and Chica in sixth. And shout out to Nukeshot R&D, all three of their teams in the top three. Well done, me. Quite happy with that. It's the first time that's ever happened, so that's the reason I'm shouting that out. He's got the times. Because I'm sure the drivers have a decent part in that as well, of course. In the race. And now I've got a few more settings to alter. Leave your predictions for who you think's going to do well in the race. In the live chat. Or even in the comments if you're watching this after it being live. Costa pressed the handbrake, oh dear. Maybe forget what I was saying about the drivers, it is all the setup. Nah. Okay, and now we're switching to just that, and it's evening times 3. And thankfully, this is a circuit that has lights. So that's always beneficial. I think all the other settings are just fine as they are. We're not expecting any rain. Don't know what the weather's going to be because it's all random. Will the wind have changed direction? Only a little bit. It still could be enough to throw some of these off. I'll be getting the qualifying order sent to me over on Discord. Oh, okay. The left side. Oh, of course, that's the inside. Has anyone chosen the outside all season? Oh, I'm being at it again. Oh, that was Alex earlier. I did sort of say, I don't know if his team's actually fully signed up for anything. Is the thing. There is an application process for these sorts of things. Cars joining the track. Wait, he can't? Oh. I thought it was like an, intermission kind of point. I think that might be what's going on there. You should be fine to do a... It's going to take me a while to set the grid anyway. Oh, but this one setting, I knew that set by host. Oh dear. Okay, just need Mateus and Batman to join, and then I'll be able to set the grid. I suppose I'll make a bit of a start now. I think Mateus isn't actually here at the moment. Starting grid. So it's Taylor's from Costa. Sweet. Joe, that's in place. Mateus not on the grid yet. Chica. Octavian. Volked. And Jerome. Mateus is now back. Starting grid. Mateus was ahead of Chica and behind Joe. Now we're just waiting for Batman to return from wherever he's at. The Batcave, Arkham Asylum, who knows. He's left the streets of Gotham for the streets of Tokyo. Why am I'm being atted again on Discord. It's a good thing I have this up. Yeah, that's, who is this? I'm not sure who this is. Is that... Oh, that's Sweet. Sweet was messaging me. It's because his username's different on Discord. That's not confusing at all. So yeah, Jerome is indeed there in last. I'm going to check the live chat again. It's mainly Alex there. I'm not the series organizer here. Well, I'm a collaborator, but the main organizer's Taylor's. And best to get this sorted for the next round in the event of something like this happening again, Alex. Okay, back to this. Where was Batman on the grid? Ahead of Volked and behind Octavian. Okay. Grid set. We're a few minutes behind schedule, but that's not bad going by my standards. Oh dear. Best get the formation lap stuff up. It's not a bad idea, is it? League rules. There it is. Okay. And then the race description for the actual zones for stuff. Wait, why have I joined the track? My subconscious is desperate to race, apparently. One day the green and white machine will return. Or the white and green machine, whichever way around. It's primarily white. Okay, here we go. The formation lap is underway. Hopefully a little bit less chaotic than the one last time, but we head in the rain at Red Bull Ring. Should be okay. Let's go over the grid again while we're at it. It is Taters that took pole position in impressive fashion, who will be on, well, pole position. Smooth as ever, Radish, well done me. Costa in second, and Sweet in third, Joe fourth, Mateus in fifth, Chica in sixth, Octavian in seventh, Batman in eighth, Volked in ninth, still with potential throttle issue, and I think that might allow Jerome in 10th to get past not too long after the green flag, but we'll see. Hopefully Volked's managed to fix something. I heard him say something about charging a backup controller. Hopefully that's all ready to go. Okay, race description. Let's check in on these zones. Okay. Got that sorted. As mentioned, it's a really long lap here. Or rather, long in terms of distance, but the actual lap time, because you're going flat out for a lot of it, is a lot shorter than you would think. I think it's around Spa-Francorchamps levels in terms of distance covered. It's a lot more high speed, which, considering we're comparing it to Spa-Francorchamps, is quite something. A bit of fog descending over the circuit here. That could make things a bit awkward. Going double file. Going through that final corner, it looks like everyone's just about in formation. Interesting, Tatus has gone for the mediums off the start. We'll see how that goes for him. We're about to get racing underway here for round 5 of the Capital X NES IndyCar Series here for the Tokyo Super Prix. Tatus guns it, cross the line, and we are racing. Green, 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 and the cars are off. Tatus instantly with a round of 5/10 jump, but Costa closing in quickly, making a move to the inside. Costa's also gone for the mediums on this first stint. Side by side they run towards the dockyard section. Costa looking to outbrake Tatus on the outside. Bit of a slip from Tatus. Costa trying to cross him back over. Joe managing to work his way up into third, so Sweet's dropped back a position. And now, the long run on the straight. Taters goes back ahead. Joe in third. Sweet fourth. Mateus fifth. Chica sixth. Batman 7th. Volkhead's actually up to 8th, so that controller seems to be working nicely. Although, oh, bit of lag. Not sure if they can see each other necessarily. That's concerning. So Jerome in 9th, and something's happened to Poctavian. Poctavian's dropped back significantly. Battle for the lead. 3 cars seem to have broken away from the rest of the pack. And I think that's Costa hitting the wall from the dirty air off of Taylor's car. Taylor's with a 1.1 second lead. That's just about breaking slipstream. That's allowing Joe to catch back up. And Chica TC's managed to make a position on Sweet, so Sweet's gone down 2 positions on that opening lap. Trying to regain it. Here we go on board. Chica goes to the inside. Back to the racing line. Does Sweet try and send it? They do. Chica having to go for the very wide line, and I think Sweet's got that position. They have done. Great overtake there, but it's not quite done. Chica's trying to look for a re-overtake. And in that slipstream, that's going to be a little bit easier. Taylor's just falling back into the slipstream range. Costa closing in. Don't think they'll be quite close enough to make an overtake into the hairpin. And they might drop back again once they get to the S's. Oh, that's very close to making a move. Definitely putting the pressure on. Interesting how the pack's able to stay this close together. I thought they'd be a bit more spread out because of these S's, but evidently they're able to stick together a bit. As soon as I say that, there is a group that seems to have dropped back a smidge. That seems to be, what, 8th place and back? So Poctavian's going back up the order. Jerome 9th, Volkhead in 10th. Throttle seems to be fixed this time though, which is good to see. Hope that controller charge manages to last the full distance. Taylor's rounds his way through the dockyard section. Interesting comparing the different lines here. The car behind has to take a slightly different line just to get a little bit of cleaner air on the wings. And we might be able to see an upcoming overtake into the hairpin this time. I think Costa's closer than he was last lap. It's going to be a bit of a lunge if it is an overtake. He's got the gearing nicely set with a bit of room for the slipstream. He chooses to stay behind for now. Chica TC into the pits already. Interesting call, getting off the mediums. If there was safety cars in this particular series, that might have been a good call to get off of the mediums right away, but now? Not so sure. Unless they're thinking they could catch to Volkhead and use Volkhead as a slipstream partner. That's entirely possible, if they manage to calculate that kind of a gap. Costa has managed to get to the lead of the race again. Taylor's not seemingly wanting him to have it for that long. Goes back for it. Costa round the outside. Side by side running through the dockyard section. Gotta leave each other enough room. Oh, that was close. Close stuff, and Costa manages to get it back. That squabbling's allowing Joe to make a move into the following corner, side by side. Joe goes up into second place. Potatoes all over the back. Is there a bit of fog or smoke there through the tunnel, or is that just the reflection of the lights? That was odd. And Sweets managed to come back into this as well after dropping back a little bit in the early going. 3 wide going into the hairpin. Joe has outbroke himself. Taters manages to get back through. Sweet's gone through to 3rd. 5th place Batman as well. Closing up on the rest of them. We'll see the onboard here through the S's. Sweeping through, really struggling with that dirty air, the turbulence created by 4 cars. Joe makes a mistake. Batman to the inside. And after getting up to 2nd place, Joe finds himself back to 5th and caught out again, hit the wall. That was the dirty air on that occasion. Not used to it. And Mateus looking to challenge. I think he may have mistimed the pulling out of the slipstream. It may have been a slight bump. To the inside. There's a little bit of contact between them. Still side by side. Really close. Costa holds on to the lead. 7.5 gap. That's about where the slipstream range typically is. Or a decently strong slipstream anyway. Side by side, another pass. Batman goes up to 3rd. Passes the 7-up car on Sweet. Joe's coming back into this as well. Joe's managed to stay ahead of Mateus. These two battling through the hairpin. The top 2 starting to break away slightly. Batman's on the softs, interestingly. Is Batman the only one of this particular group that's on the softs? Oh wow, Tater's able to stay really close through the S's. That's impressive. I think so. Jerome's also on the softs, but a bit further back. Chica pitted onto the softs already, and Volked's on the softs. Now, it could be a game of saving fuel here. Typically, the tyre wear on these well-maintained roads is a lot lower than at most circuits. So, fuel conservation could be the name of the game here. How long can you stretch a stint out? Although, how long would you want to stretch a stint out if you're on the mediums? Top 2 with the 1.2 second gap. Sweet in 3rd, Batman 4th. Joe looking to go for an overtake, can't quite find the room, backs off a little bit. Looks to the inside for the upcoming braking zone. And nicely done there by Joe. Oh, kick of oversteer, massive kick of oversteer. That's going to allow Batman to put the traction down and make the overtake again. Joe's getting really scrappy in this. It's fantastic entertainment. Octavian's managed to work his way towards the back of Mateus. Burned a decent bit of overtake in the process of doing so, though. As Taters has managed to retake the lead of this one. Never mind. Costa round the outside. It was running a bit deep there. There are actually no track limits being monitored for this race due to the walls, of course it being a street circuit. So some unorthodox lines perhaps are indeed legal. Let's compare the fuel situation between these two. Seems about equal. Taters has burned a bit more of the overtake. Sweet's burned about the same. Side by side they go again. Oh, massive jink to the inside. Costa trying to put the traction down. Still side by side. I think Taylor's just going to hold on to this one. Or is he? Maybe not. Side by side they go through the S's. And Costa just nicks ahead. Just gets that. Sweet holds on to third. Joe fourth. So Joe ahead of Batman again. And Mateus in 6th, Jerome 7th, Octavian's down to 9th. Octavian's made a pit stop. Octavian crashes. My voice is crashing as well by the sounds of it. Oh dear. That's an outlap. What has happened? I noticed that Octavian wasn't in 6th place or on the back of Mateus anymore. I wondered why. It was a pit stop to get onto the softs, but costly mistake getting into the outside wall and it's sending him round. That's gonna really hamper his chances. He's already on a bit of an alternate strategy by pitting this out of sequence. Chica TC is the only other car to have made a pit stop already, but battling with Volked, who as mentioned has been having some throttle issues. But yeah, look at that. 12 seconds is how much Chica TC's managed to gain on a similar strategy. In fact, Chica's managed to set the fastest lap of the race in clear air. Like no slipstream at all. So this could be a really solid play here from Chica TC. We'll have to see how that one develops. Tater's currently in the lead of this one. He's top 2, constantly swapping position. If you're enjoying this action, be sure to leave a like for this. Consider subscribing for the remainder of the season and other projects on the channel. This particular race brought to you by Unknown Juice. It's like orangish in colour. I think it's pineapple. As round the outside goes Costa. A little bit of wheel banging. You know what though, overall, I think this has been a really good, respectful battle between these two. Mind you, the cameras haven't been on them for all the time, but from what I've seen, this has been great stuff. Just wonder if this battling is going to be holding them up, and the likes of Chica on the alternate strategy could be winning out. Look how low the tyre wear has been. We're on lap 10 now of the 37. One of those was the outlap, of course. So Joe back ahead of Sweet. Joe perhaps trying to get back into a rhythm and mount a charge. Has clear air for the S's, which is at a premium, it would seem. Sweet impressively able to stay quite close to Joe through that section. Look how close they get to the walls. I think Taters could be lining up another overtake here. Costa forced them to the outside line.com, but we've seen the pass around the outside has worked. Oh, bit of a cutback. This is different. Oh, a little bit of contact, I think. Costa goes into the wall. Wasn't expecting that cutback. That's allowed Joe to close up significantly. Great exit though by Costa, going onto the back straight and able to get side by side again with Taters. We're going to go for this particular dynamic camera. So we check Joe making a move on Taters as well. Are we going to go 3 wide into here? It looks like it. Taters seems to have outbroke himself a bit. Joe manages to switch back. Costa somehow manages to maintain the lead through all of that. Taylor's looking to go to the outside, can't quite find it, has to slot in through the S's and loses out through that section, following just a little bit too close for the downforce's liking. And that concludes the dynamic camera update. Shout out to Jack Wilkinson. I have no idea how he manages to get that close to the cars at speed. Oh, Dominic saying he will not leave a like. Thanks, Dominic. Thanks for tuning in anyway, Dominic. And hello to the Racing Kirby as well. I believe that's Matthew of the MEM Skoda Racing team. That's having him tuning in, cheering on for Zweet, who's currently in 4th place, no doubt. And has been doing well to stay in touch with the rest of these. No one's been able to break away, which has been good to see. Side by side they run again. It's difficult to maintain the level of awe and enthusiasm for all of this, with it just happening constantly. You sort of become a bit numb to how great the racing is. But it's fantastic to see as Taylor manages to make the move stick. The sun beginning to set, that will bring the track temperatures down a bit. The wind's also changed direction a little bit and has dropped into speed. Through that last corner in the S's, where he seemed to gain a lot of time as the car ahead. 3 or 4 tenths. It's from a good exit. Oh, clip of the wall. This could be Taylor's chance to break away, although Costa back on the overtake button. Top 3 have a little bit of a gap. Oh, side by side here. We've got Mateus, Batman, and Zweet all going at it. Zweet's dropped down to 6th place. Zweet trying to come back at it. Can't quite. Oh, massive slide. Zweet's into the wall. Passed by Jerome. We're going to have to see a replay of this. There was some great racing going on. Zweet, perhaps the pressure getting to them a little bit after losing 2 positions. Just a little bit over eager on the throttle. The tyres are wearing out a bit by this stage. And I think that may have caught them out. So Taylor's our current leader from Costa and Joe. Joe's been very... I'm not sure what the word is. He's pacing himself, I think. He's content with running 3rd at this stage. Seems to be what I'm gathering with this. It seems to be the top 2 that are switching the positions more so, and Joe's sort of in the mix, staying in touch, but not going too aggressive at this stage, which I think is a very solid play, especially if he's saving a bit of fuel. Which it's actually Taylor's that has saved the most fuel of these 3. Oh, bit of a switch over. Shallow entry forced by Costa. Manages to keep it going though in that Progressive Insurance Chevrolet, followed by the Dex Imaging Honda and the Noises Chevrolet of Joe in 3rd. 4th place at this stage is the number 25 KFC Chevrolet of North Star Racing. Batman in 5th in the Smirnoff Understeer Engineering car. Jerome has managed to get into the top 6, which is impressive considering they even missed qualifying, only had limited amount of practice while I was setting the grid, so good run there by Jerome. That's another one of the Skoda cars actually. The Petron's machine. So Sweet, their teammate, who had a really solid qualifying, but after that mistake, has dropped back, and Chica TC, who has made a pit stop, has managed to catch the rest of the field. That is really interesting here. I think Chica TC might be looking at a 2-stop, unless they really stretch these tyres. But even then, not done too bad. They of course hold the fastest lap of the race, 134.055. And into the darkness we go. You see, there are lights around the circuit. We're not going to have a high-speed ring situation where it's pitch black and the cars don't have lights. Oh, Dominic, are you on 2 different accounts? There's a TSR Dominic and a just regular Dominic. Well, I appreciate the view boosting, I suppose. Chica TC ahead of Sweet now. Joe goes into the pits. So Joe into the pits. We're a little bit early from the half distance marker, but I think this is about the range that the softs could go to the end. There's Poctavian, who pitted earlier, and this could be interesting because Poctavian's of course another TSR driver, and the teammates could work with each other quite effectively if the others don't react to that pit stop. And soon Taters holds on to the lead, and of course with the lower fuel that you get for waiting out in the stint, the lower the tyre wear is going to be as well because it's less weight. Track temp really going down here. Gonna have another drink while I'm at it. While the track temp's going down, the room temp in the Nukeshot broadcast centre has definitely been going up. It's been quite hot over the last couple of days. Side by side again, and it's Costa taking the lead once more. Now, do either of these go into the pits? I would be surprised if they don't. We shall see. Are they going to react to what Joe does? It looks like Taters is at least. Costa is as well. Both into the pits. Fresh Yokohama tyres going on to the number 12. And indeed the number 98. Fueling up as well. Exiting the pits. Where is Joe in all of this? There's Poctavian. And I think Costa's going to come out just behind Poctavian. Both of them managed to just get out ahead of Joe, so that extra lap on the softs not quite enough for Joe to get an undercut. And his tyres are going to be 1 lap older compared to these. He's trying to make an overtake here, and does so. Very efficient there from Joe of the Fire. This puts Mateus into the lead. Now, does Mateus go into the pits this time around, or do they opt for a slightly different strategy? Batman's also not too far behind, so at the moment it is Mateus from Batman from Chica TC, Jerome in 4th, Sweet in 5th, so the 2 Skoda teammates working together. And now, does Costa have the ability to get slipstream from Poctavian? I think it's just outside the range. And yet Joe is able to get slipstream on Costa. Mateus does go into the pits, as does Batman. Chica chooses to stay out. Remember, Chica was the one that pitted very early. Jerome yet to make a stop. So after the first lot of stops from pretty much everyone, Chica is in the lead, but will most likely have to pit again. I suppose they could be running with lower fuel overall if they're having to make a 2-stop. So that could also be playing into effect. Octavian's tyres are starting to wear a bit. Using the overtake just to keep Costa out of slipstream range and give Joe a bit of a better opportunity to attack. These two, of course, being teammates, could very well be in a voice chat, so strategizing this. All legal, of course. Joe actually has the fastest lap of the race, 1:33.756. Remember, it was Cheek that held it for such a long time. We're now into the 33s. Oh, apparently Dominic only just changed the name there. As Joe does make the pass on Costa. Does Costa go back at it? No, not quite. Now, does Octavian drop back a little bit and give Joe a slipstream and maybe hold up the others? That would be the sneaky play. Sparks as well as we're into the night. That is awesome to see. What does Octavian do? Of course, they will be wanting to run their own race as best as they can. Still in the championship hunt themselves. Was that a bit of side-by-side action here again? These two, Costa and Taters. Oh, just holding on to the outside. Very deep on the brakes. And as you pick up the throttle, as you're gradually increasing speed, the downforce also increases. Meaning you can apply a bit more throttle, and so the cycle repeats. It's a great corner for that. A great sequence, rather. These two are letting Joe get away a little bit. 1 second the gap now between these two and Joe. Still dueling at it. So they were the opposite way around. As in left to right and right to left. Not too long ago. Jerome pits. Jerome will drop back a decent way. Fueling up. And exiting the pits onto a set of softs. Has Jerome used the mediums yet? I'm not actually sure. I'd assume they have if they've gone onto softs now, but... And there is something in the lobby settings as well that should tell them that running the medium at least once is required. Volkid, meanwhile, a minute and 2 back, but it at least seems that the throttle issue isn't as bad as it was. We've just been getting laps in, continuing to learn and develop as a driver. So it is Chica TC with a 5.1 second lead from Octavian, and then Joe, followed by Taters and Costa, and Taters has caught Joe back up again. Only 3/10 between the two of them. Could maybe see a move going into the hairpin. Chica TC does pit. It is the 2-stop. Where will they rejoin is the question. They'll need a bit less fuel than some of the others that pitted earlier. So the car will be lighter. They rejoin in 6th place. They should have better tyres towards the end of this compared to some of the others. So Batman in 7th, Sweet in 8th, Jerome in 9th, Volkhead in 10th. Octavian's running low on the overtake and will be pitting in not too long from now. But they are at the head of the field. And they do also have the fastest lap of the race, a 1:33.550. And I think we can pretty much say for certain now, given it's been several laps, that there is no real strategy team order in the sense of Octavian dropping back to give Joe slipstream to break away from these other two, so no crafty gamesmanship there from Team Simpact Racing. Would have been interesting to see if they did try it. Costa's managed to get back up to this group as well. Again, no one can break away. Wind speed's picked up, 3 meters a second. Still a decent chunk of the race to go. A little bit of a wobble going out of turn 1 there for Costa. Going on board with the number 12 car. Closing up heavily and there's contact. Bit of a nudge. Well, he went on board at the right time to capture that. Jack Wilkinson once again on the cam. He's duct taped himself to the halo of this car. It's not very good for the aerodynamics, but oh well. Costa seems to be able to keep up nicely regardless. Look at the intensity here. 190 miles an hour. I think he could have used with a little bit more room in that 6th gear for the slipstreaming. As Taters sends it to the inside, Joe sees it coming. Nice cut back, although Joe couldn't quite clear him by the exit, so he had to compromise this line a little bit. Again, tricky to follow. If not from the dirty air, then just being blinded from the sparks. Taters gets alongside. Has the insideline.com for the next corner. Joe will try and slot back in. Oh, can't quite clear. Joe just avoids hitting the wall, but had to let off the throttle. Costa's trying to find a way through. Lets off the throttle himself. Side by side they run again. This is effectively for the net lead. Octavian still has to make another stop. All of these should be okay to go to the end. Side by side, Costa goes up into 3rd place. Joe just taps the wall slightly on exit. I think the win is going to come down to these three. I think the podium's pretty much set. Although it's very early to say, I know. There could still be an incident of some horrific kind yet waiting for us, and I really shouldn't say that as a commentator, should I? But that's just the thing. You never know for certain. But if we're going by pace alone, these three have been the class of the field. They've always seemed to have been in that top 3. And in fact, there's an issue there for Volkhead. Right in front, they managed to all get by. What's happened with Volkhead? Pit stop, it looked like. Octavian also into the pits. Was it just being careful and letting cars go by on the exit? Look, dead stick on throttle. Into the wall even. It seemed like there was like a controller cutout or something, because even the steering stopped. Volkhead's now paused, you can tell by the indicators there, the hazard lights flashing, and now off again. So evidently Volkhead's still battling some electrical issues. Soldiering on though. And now with Octavian having made that pit stop, that's dropped them down to 6th with Sweet not too far behind. And Sweet could really cause a problem for Octavian. Sweet, we saw, had Yokohama Fast 6 pace. And if Octavian can't quite break away from Sweet, that could be a really tricky opponent for them to deal with, although Sweet clipping that wall, going onto the back straight, helping Octavian out significantly. Chica TC pretty much by themselves, 11 seconds back. They've got a decent amount of laps to gain that 11 seconds back on the front of the field. They've got the freshest tyres of pretty much everyone in this front group at least. I suppose Octavian has fresher by a few laps, but is a bit further behind. It is Costa that leads. 8 tenths is the gap. And the first of these three to have a red light over their airbox, that roll hoop thing, is Taters. So Taters has used the most overtake out of these. Costa's getting a bit close to that 1/4 left margin. And Joe, very smartly, has been saving his. This is round 5 of the Capital X NES IndyCar series, here live on Nukeshot Media. If you're enjoying the action, be sure to leave a like, consider subscribing for the remainder of the season. Joe looking to make a move down the inside, not quite. Thought better of it on that occasion. If he's listening into the live stream, he knows that he's got the most overtake. We'll certainly know that he's got more than Taters just from looking at that roll hoop. Once you're into the final quarter, it goes red. Once you're out completely, there's no light at all. Fantastic seeing the flames being spat up from the exhaust of these cars as they shift gears, particularly on the downshifts. One of the great joys of night racing. These three have been sensational today. And we're coming up to around 10 laps to go in this one. Joe to the lead. Taters second, and Costa down to third. Costa looking to get Taters back. Round the outside. Racing room given. And Costa is now getting into the final quarter of the overtake, and the light is still green. Maybe it's the last 20% or something around that then. Joe's certainly looking the best for the overtake as a massive send, and somehow Costa gets that one stopped at the apex. Bit of a slide from Taters. Joe with a 1.1 second gap. Has he decided this is the point that he can make a break for it? 1.2. I think this could be what he's doing. He got on the overtake a little bit there on the exit of the final corner. .3. Will either of these two be able to catch back up that kind of a gap? Well, they're all a little bit more spread out. We'll go through the order once again. As mentioned, it is Joe of the Fire, the current leader of the race, car number 99, the Noise Chevrolet, from the number 12 Progressive Insurance Chevrolet of Costa, and the number 98 Honda of Dex Imaging. That is the Motorsport Republic X Capital team that runs that car. Mateus solidly in 4th and sneaking back up to this lead group, has an awful lot of overtake left. Could be on track for a podium if they keep this up. That's car number 25, the KFC Chevrolet, run by North Star Racing. Chica TC being closed in on by Octavian. As, oh wow, Octavian seemingly going to Narnia and back. But that is the Valvoline car, the Honda of Chica TC, number 88 of BNR Racing, and of course the number 10 car rather of Octavia, the Need for Speed machine of Team Impact Racing. Sweet, one of the MEM Skoda cars, number 15, the 7-Up Honda. They're in 7th. Batman in 8th place. Batman in the number 11 Smirnoff Chevrolet. Jerome in 9th, that's another one of the Skoda cars. Number 44. Yep, got that on the Teams and Drivers thing there. The Petronas Honda, and Volked in the number 77. They're currently in 10th place in the 711 Chevrolet of Nukeshot Motorsport. Costa has managed to catch back up. I thought that gap may have been a bit insurmountable. But it seems otherwise. Costa's caught back up. May have used a little bit of overtake to do so. Into the closing stages of this one. Leave your predictions in the live chat, or again in the comments if you're not watching this live. Because I have another sip of the drink. Good stuff. Some kind of tropical, kind of pineapple flavoured thing. Looking forward to when I can open a window at the end of this one. It is roasting here in the Nukeshot Broadcast Centre. Costa taking the lead from Joe. Taylor's dropping back a little bit, running a bit low on the overtake. Might not have enough to challenge for a win compared to the others. Has been in the hunt all day long and definitely can't count them out. 4 seconds is the gap between them and Mateus in 4th. Number 25 car picking up speed. We're going to compare last laps actually. It was a 34.8, 33.9, 34.2 and a 34.4. Okay, so that last lap Mateus didn't actually gain any time. I think Mateus may have miscalculated something here. I don't know if they've got enough fuel to be able to use much of their overtake. They may have miscalculated that. I'm not too sure. Yeah, they've got about the same amount of fuel as everyone else, and they would have fueled to the end, but with a lot less of that overtake. Does Mateus have enough fuel to put the hammer down? Not sure yet. Joe sliding around a little bit through that dockyard section. The rear tyres are starting to go on the 99. A little bit better on Costa's number 12 car. Mind you, Joe's car pitted 1 lap earlier than them and Tater's. And indeed, Costa and Tater's tyres are pretty much the same. And of course, running similar setups as well. To the outside goes Costa. We've seen plenty of great overtaking moves around the outside here. Can't quite get it done on that occasion. Joe holds onto the lead. And I think Costa's really choosing to hold off on the overtake for the final lap or two. Just trying to stay in touch with Joe. We've still got such a lot left for the position he's in. He's also the best on fuel if he needs to use it. Chica TC was on the alternate strategy, you may recall. They're currently in 6th place. Octavian's actually managed to get to 5th on a bit of an alternate strategy. So they've overtaken Chica TC. Not too sure if Chica made a mistake. That could just be on fuel pace. There was a 36.0 on lap 24. That looks a little bit suspicious. But yep, Octavian into 5th. As mentioned, Mateus in 4th. Is starting to close in a little bit more. 4.1 to the leaders is the gap. He's got just over a quarter of a fuel tank left. Just applying the overtake on corner exits. Gotta be careful you don't spin up the wheels doing that. Bit of a slide from Chica TC in the Valvoline car. The 7-up car of Zweet. Not been the best of races for Zweet. Looked to be a really strong challenger, qualified in the top 3 you may recall. So they'll not be happy with 7th if things stay as they are. Batman in 8th place in the Smirnoff car. That's number 1, apologies. I had that down as number 11, I think. Yeah, something's gone off there. It says here that Batman's number on the teams and drivers sheet is 11, whereas it's actually number 1 on the actual car. Something's gone off there. That could just be a case of that graphic not being updated. But yeah, it says Arroyo is in the number 1 car. Red Bull sponsorship on that one, but of course Arroyo's not here. Hopefully we'll see them in a future round. Jerome, 9th place. Should still be set to get some decent points. And Volked, not seen too much of them. Because they're about to be lapped by Jerome. Oh, yeah, you can see them really letting off the throttle just to let them go past. Polite, perhaps a bit too polite, because you're losing a lot of time doing that. Still in the learning phases, of course. Joe, on their last lap, set the fastest lap of the race. 33.321. And with a 1.1 second gap, is this the break that he's going to try for? He's used a chunk of his overtake. He's used so much of his overtake in the last little while, no doubt on that push lap, to try and break away. I don't know if that was the play. because Costa's catching up again, and for free. I think Joe may have pulled the pin a bit too early. Just look, 6/10, and Costa's going to be gaining a little bit more on these straights while slipstreaming. Not close enough for the dirty air to be having much of an effect either. Look, 3/10. 5/10 now, but still comfortably within slipstream range. I'm not too sure about that one, but I mean, he is leading. Maybe it will come down to the slightly fresher tyres that Costa has. And look, he's going for the overtake actually, into the dockyard section. Joe trying to hold it round the outside. That outside line, you're of course able to take a bit more speed, and therefore you've got more downforce. That's why we've been seeing some moves around the outside pay off. Four-tenths is the gap the other way this time around. Taters has really dropped off, though, it seems. Not to sound rude or anything, but 2.3 is the gap now. 2.4. The top two have separated themselves quite effectively, and I don't think Taters has enough overtake to put in much of a charge unless the top two crash. And again, shouldn't be saying these things as a commentator. Sweeping through the S's. What a section that is. I think I can somewhat tell what might happen as Joe goes to the inside on the run towards turn 1. It might come down to if the leader by the end of this hits the wall on the outside of the final lap, whether the car behind will be able to jink to the other side of the circuit and make a pass before the timing line. That's the kind of setup that I'm predicting for this. Joe still with a bit more overtake than Costa, but in the closing stages, all you need is that little bit to see you to the line, and for the crucial areas of the circuit. It could also be whoever gets out of the hairpin first on the last lap that takes this one. Oh, I don't know. Costa to the inside and manages to get it stopped again. It looks like they're going to overshoot the corner, but that is extremely impressive stuff from Costa. On their return, after quite a long hiatus, what a result this would be. Joe manages to find his way back ahead through the S's. And Taters has managed to catch back up. This battling has allowed that number 98 car, the Dex Imaging Honda, to catch these guys. Costa back to the lead, 8/10. And now look at this. Taters making the overtake on Joe. This is just what Costa needs. And again, massive send into the corner, but you're carrying so much speed that the downforce saves you. Slide McGee going through the dockyard section. The tyres are shredded. More shredded than wheat at this point. That was an awful joke, I'm sorry. Oh dear. Costa, the current leader, 9/10 is the gap. Taters now up into second, 8/10 of a gap over Joe. Mateus in 4th place, running very low on fuel, but they have been using their overtake. I think they should just be safe. And Poctavian in 5th. That's the top 5. We're going to have to stick with the battle for the lead as we go on to the final lap of the race after this corner. What an exciting race it has been. These three have put on a clinic. 1 lap to go. Costa leads, 5/10 is the gap. He's got a bit of overtake, as does Taters. Taters managed to catch up without using any of his overtake. Joe falling back just a little bit. That could be crucial. Costa trying to break the slipstream. Again, Taters sending it deep into the dockyard section. Costa doing his best to try and break the slipstream through this corner. Oh, clip of the wall for Taters. This is the chance that Costa needs, but it's not quite enough. Taters on the overtake button, closing in. Gonna try and overtake, surely. It's gonna be close. Costa defends to the inside. Taters tries it. Costa outbrakes himself. Trying to put the traction down. Taters just to the inside. He's out of overtake. He's shoving Costa into the wall, or is that the lag? I think that's just the lag. Costa to the inside. Costa gets ahead. This is it, surely. Costa is going to cross the line and win round 5 of the Capital X NES IndyCar series. What an awesome race provided by these top 3 in particular, but the whole field as well. What a finish that was. Taters holds on to 2nd place, but so close to the comeback of the century. Joe, he was in the best situation with the most overtake in that final stint, but the strategy just narrowly missing out. The top 3 all within 0.8 of a second. That was awesome stuff. Mateus takes home 4th place, solid points for North Star Racing. Octavian recovers to 5th after being on an alternate strategy and also not making the Yokohama Fast 6, so great drive recovery there from Octavian. Chica TC was on a very alternate strategy. Didn't quite pay off for them. They have to settle for 6th place. Zwiet in 7th place. That race really didn't go according to their plan. Number 15 has to settle for 7th. Batman in 8th today. We'll be looking for a better result next time out. Jerome likewise as well in the Petronas car. And Volked in 10th. And there is our winner, Costa, with the win. Here are your results at the end of this one. It was Joe that had the fastest lap of 1:33.321, but it is Costa taking the win, followed by Taters, Joe, Mateus, Octavian, Chica, Zwiet, Batman, Jerome, and Volked. No DNFs, which is good to see. No disconnections or anything of the like. So well done to everyone. What a race that was. You surely have to leave a like for that one. That was awesome. Save the replay, of course, so I can get a thumbnail for in a bit. And that concludes that particular race. I hope you've all enjoyed it. I certainly did. That was some fantastic dueling towards the end, and fair play racing as well, from what I could tell, between all 3 of the top 3. Great stuff there. Next up, it is going to be in a week's time. We're not having a week break. It is going to be July 27th. We're going to Broadbean Raceway for the Yokohama 150. 150 laps at the Broadbean Raceway Oval. I believe that's going to have a slightly different balance of performance figures. It's going to be a bit lower on the power, so we're going to see some short track oval racing action there. Should be another exciting time. Could be a bit Blue Moon Bay 200-esque. We'll have to see. So definitely subscribe with your notifications on so you know when that race goes live, as mentioned, in a week's time. Hope you've all enjoyed. This has been Zokyo of Nukeshot Media. We hope to see you in a week's time. From all of us here, it's goodbye.